Welcome. So we are Pretty and Safe Ladies Network. We are a house of women who are set to fulfill kingdom agenda, equipped for kingdom agenda. So we're equipping ourselves all around, business-wise, spiritually, career-wise. And that's the essence of this conference. So every year we hold webinars and even physical conferences to better equip ourselves for kingdom advancement and also earthly relevance in all sectors. So yesterday, the Access 1.0 program kicked off. We had David Williams. He started on the topic purpose and clarity of vision. And we had, it lasted for an hour and a few minutes, but it opened our eyes to what purpose actually is. We saw things like inspiration being different from motivation, our purpose and our vision, which is our essence of being here on earth. So today we will kick off with the first session. We have 2 sessions lined up for today. So get your notepad ready. I can see us coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can see us joining in. Welcome, welcome. So tonight's session is going to be power-packed. I can say that confidently. We have 2 women gracing us tonight. So sit tight, get your notepad, get your pen. The first section will be on financing your business with zero capital. And our speaker is already here. So I want to encourage us, I want us to do one thing. Just share the link, this Zoom link on your status, share it on your platforms, and let people know that we have started. Let them know we are live so they can join it, so they don't get to miss. Share it to your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends, your families. Share it to everyone that you love. Nobody is left out. Men, women, share it to everybody. Share it to everybody. And also, as the program commences, I'd like us to put our mics, please. I want to also state that while the program starts, if you have questions, please kindly note your questions. We'll take them after each section. After the first section, the speaker will take our questions. After the second session, the speaker will also take our questions. So let's post on our WhatsApp, on our Facebook, share the link, let them know we are live, we are live, we are live, we've started. In a few minutes, we'll be commencing. The link is on the chat room. You can check the chat. The link has been pasted there. You can copy it from there and share with your contacts. Welcome, welcome. I can see some people joining in. Welcome. Welcome. My name is Sopuluchi Francisca Obiora, and I'll be your anchor tonight.
Okay, our people.
Please kindly mute your mics. I can see mics. Please kindly mute your mic. Kindly mute your mics. You can share your video if you want us to see you, but kindly mute your mic, please. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we'll be kicking off without wasting much time. We're kicking off now. Our speaker is already here and I won't want to keep her waiting. So we're kicking off. So we have our speaker is Ngunan Aloho, and I'll be reading her bio quickly, after which she'll be taking the floor. She's the Executive Director of Samuel Iloro Foundation, a trained legal practitioner, gender development advocate, writer, certified project management professional, and social researcher. She began her work in the development sector during her undergraduate studies and was motivated to design the program that is now Samuel Laurent Foundation due to rising gender inequalities. She has experienced the marginalization that holds women back and continues to use her voice to advocate for inclusion, investigate gender discrimination, and work toward influencing policies that break these barriers. She works with her team to design art-based activities, short films, illustration books, war morale, among others, to tell stories of injustice and inequality, with the hope of changing the narrative for the acquisition of sustainable development goals and gender development. Next slide. She is one champion, a Young African Leaders Initiative alumni, an Ashoka Exchange change maker, an Orange Corner incubatee, and a LEAP fellow. She was named one of the top 40 African Union education innovators in 2019 and uses her creative mind to design co-creation interventions. Ngunan is a master's student at the University of York, where she studies comparative and international social policy. Can we give applause for Ngunan as she takes the stage tonight to teach us? You can just clap in the comment section. Welcome, 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 Ngunan. Nice to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So you can now. Yes.
Good evening. All right, so I can share my screen now. Thank you, welcome. Thank you, pretty and safe ladies, for inviting me. Thank you specifically to Chidima for also letting me know about your program, and it's amazing to hear all of the things that you do. I'm hoping that we're able to get impact in whatever I'm about to share today. The way my presentations go normally would be very practical, giving personal experiences of how I've been able to navigate through the topic that we're going to be handling today as well. And so we'll get right to it. So if you have any question, like what earlier said, you could put it in the chat box, or when I'm talking and you have any issues, you could raise up your hand, and then if it's something that we can immediately talk about, if you're confused about something, we can talk about that before I move on as well. So we're going to start with what the topic is: financing your business with zero capital. So when I first saw the topic, I actually even asked myself if this was possible, if it's possible for you to finance your business with zero capital. So capital could mean different things, and one of the best definitions for me is what's on my screen here. What is capital? Wealth in the form of money or other assets owned by a person or organization, or available for a purpose such as starting a company or investing. This definition struck me because you see the definition and you see how I underlined asset there, which means money is not just what is needed to start a business. So there are different kinds of capital. There's human capital, there's financial capital, there are other assets that you could also use, which could also be in turn used in financing your business. So is financing your business with zero capital possible? It's possible to start your business without funds, but it might not be possible for you to really start a business without capital per se, especially because as a human, you're already a capital. So here we'll look at what the human capital is, which is you as a person. And this is starting with the things that you have. So it's possible for you to have businesses. It's possible for you to run an empire of a lot of things But these things were things that you actually started with maybe little to no funds. And that is possible through the things that you already have, which could be your experience, your knowledge, and your skills. So as people who have maybe done certain things for a long time, you notice that you begin to gather experience in that particular field. If you're working in an office and you're a customer service representative, you become kind of like an expert in that field. If you're a writer, you become an expert in writing. And even if your writing has not been shared publicly, the fact that you're continuously doing it will help you to gain experience in it. You're able to share your failures, you're able to see things you're able to succeed in, and you're in turn able to use that to start a business that will become successful. And then in knowledge, the course you go to school to read, whatever it is, I always say, you could in turn whatever thing you've done in school into whatever you need to do in future. So no course is kind of like useless, because there are certain theoretical things that you'd have learned in school that you could apply those things in the practical world as well. And then you have your skills. What are some of the things that you've learned how to do, some of the courses that you've attended, some of the discussions that you've had? How have you been able to like nurture those skills? Some people have natural born skills, which by the time they grow up, which is called talent, by the time they grow up, they're trying to like nurture those skills. It could be braiding hair, it could be painting, it could be drawing, it could be writing, different skills, singing. And then you're able to like nurture this skill. And all of this put together are some of the things that you can use in starting your business with zero financial capital. Now, how are you able to combine experience, knowledge, and skills to do this? You first of all develop an idea. What is it you want to do? So you can actually start a business without having an idea. So if you have skill, if you have experience, if you have knowledge, you're able to combine all of those things together and start thinking, what do I do with this knowledge that I have? What do I do with this experience that I have? It could be that continuously when you go on website, you try to maybe check for a particular thing and you never really find it. And because of all of the failures, because of all of the frustrations that you have in trying to find that one thing, you could decide that, okay, you've been trying to find this one thing and it's been impossible for you. And then you want to try to bring an alternative method. That is you trying to use your experience of not finding something to start up a business. And whatever it is you want to start, you can start that thing by just having discussions around it, having discussions on your blog, on your social media platform, which is like your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Instagram, and your Twitter. All of these are your social media capital that you could also invest to actually start your business with zero capital. Of course, you have to be subscribing your phone or whatever thing you're going to be using to be on the internet. But in the long run, you're sharing your experience with people. By the time you've shared your experience to a certain level, people see that you've become like an expert in a particular topic or in a particular thing that is being spoken about. And then you get invited to maybe programs, you do public speaking, you're beginning to like create print on demand materials, you're beginning to write ebooks and then sell them online as well. That is you using that channel of frustration that you had to turn it into a business. And then you didn't really need money to really like start it. You're just there by sharing your experience, and that is it. Sometimes you share an experience and you're not like certain how far it's going to go. And then Twitter does this thing sometimes where it goes like really viral and everybody wants to hear from you. Media houses want to hear from you. And then you're able to turn that story into market, like a marketing strategy for you to make money from it. And then another thing is, by the time you've developed this idea, that's one way using your experience. You could also develop that idea with knowledge, just like how you had the experience. Because of all these experiences, you now start gaining knowledge about certain things. If you're a lawyer, for example, there are certain things you know how to do by the fact that you are a lawyer. If you did mass communication in school, there are certain things around communication you know how to do, other people don't know how to do. Social media marketing, how to run social media campaigns, email marketing, how to talk to people, all of those kind of things. If you're in theater arts, now I'm just saying all of these things because it's not really about the course that you read. You could read theater arts and you will still know how to do all of those things. But if we're calling the courses the way that they are, let's say you did theater arts and you know how to write, you're a script writer, you know how to do all of those things. You could actually start script writing from your room without actually opening up a company or paying huge amounts of money to do something. You can use Google Doc, you can use Microsoft Office to just like table out your scripts and all of that. Then you start like sharing it to people online. talking to prospective clients like the actors, actresses, or you could even use your phone to shoot like a short film. And then by the time you're having all of those things, those are assets that you could use in future to actually build on what you want to build in future. And then you have your skills. So for example, I am a project management professional, and how I started up was basically organizing events. So right from my undergraduate, I was organizing events in schools, I was doing workshops, I was doing seminars, and some were successful, others were not. I started running projects. Some projects were again successful, others were not. And then I would sit down and try to find out, why was this successful? Why was this a failure? What do I need to do better? And at this point, I really didn't have any knowledge of the core project management teams. I only just knew about, oh, I'm trying to do an event, or I want to make change in the society. I had no real knowledge about what project management actually was until around 2016, 2017. That's when I had a proper event per se that would say everything around project management was infused into it. And since then, I had been learning about project management, took exams, attended courses and all of that, and that built my knowledge. So before I did project management, did the courses, took exams and all, I already kind of like had practical experience, because I kept on doing certain things, even though I didn't know that this was what I was doing at the time. Those things were increasing my knowledge about what project management was. So by the time I got to see the theory of it, everything like kind of like blended. And with that project management skill now, I could work in like several companies, consulting for people, talking to them about their different projects in different industries. So I didn't really need money to actually start working as a project manager. It had to do with my skills, it had to do with my knowledge, it had to do with my experience, all three combined together. And now I had to build a course, project management course, where I teach people Google Workspace, I teach people project management. That particular course and all of those things, I didn't like look for like a big site and all of that to put it on. I did everything on Google Workspace. I have a Google Workspace associated website and all of that, just in a small corner. So I'm not spending so much doing all of those things. So you have all these digital products where you're able to have like ebooks, online courses that you're able to even share right there on WhatsApp, because you now have the WhatsApp business. So even if you don't have a website, you're able to like share all of those things using your WhatsApp. So ideation is like the first thing that you need to do. And sometimes when you want to ideate, sometimes it's important that if you want to do something, even without spending so much, and you think you want to do it in a way that people should tend to buy that thing from you, you want to do something from a pain point. So you see that you were frustrated because you were trying to check for something online and you couldn't see exactly what it is you wanted. That pain point was what drove you to actually develop or design like a solution to what the problem would be for other people as well. So you try to look around. What do you think people have issues with doing? It could be that if you're in a place like Lagos in Nigeria, for example, you know how the busy life is, about the traffic and all of that. You know that one of the problems people will have will be maybe going to the market to get products for themselves. So you might want to start a business that you're shopping for people. So you become like a personal shopper. You won't necessarily need financial capital to start being a shopper. It could be just even your neighbor that you go to meet and say, oh, can I shop for you today? And you just give me something little, transportation. It could just even be that. And then this person might refer you to the next person, the other person refer you to the next person. And that's the power of referrals again. Or it could be that you decide, okay, I want to be washing house for people or new buildings, or I want to just be cooking for people that are too busy. So beyond being a personal shopper, you want to go to people's houses to cook for them. These are things that become like real business enterprises, because you could now have like a washing business where people are contracting you to like wash really big buildings, and maybe travel to several spaces, like even within your state, where you need to now employ like a lot of people, because maybe in a day you have like 5 cleaning jobs and you're sending people to the diverse places. So all of those things, sometimes it could sound like, oh, this is not something dignified and all of that. But all of these business enterprises, they had kind of like started in an undignified way as well. It's just like how you have very big car dealers and all of that. They would have started really, really small. It could be with one car that was even broken, that wasn't maybe so good, and you're trying to resell it. And that's how you start. You have old items in your house and then you're trying to resell them as well. Those are the ways that all of these businesses get to like build up. So instead of having things that maybe you throw away at a certain time, you could even like organize programs, events, and then you sell to people at a cheaper rate. And that's how little by little that business is growing. More people are knowing about it because you're solving people's problem. So if your business doesn't solve a problem, even if you have all of the financial capital there is, it might really not progress. You will really not have customers because people want to go to a place where it will solve their problem. If I'm doing project management and people don't see the relevance of why they should learn skills as such as that, if people don't see the need why they should learn Google Workspace, how to use Gmail, how to use some of these essential digital tools for the work of now, they won't really pay for the cost. And if I didn't also know that this would be an it thing in the world of now, then I probably won't also be doing it because I know that there would be people that will probably not be interested. And not everybody would still be interested, but you still have like a high client base because everybody is trying to get into job. Everybody is trying to do business and all of those things. And in doing your business, every single thing you want to do involves project management. You could be like a very good time manager. And it could be that you're having sections with people basically as a consultant to teach people how to manage their time well. That's a business that you could build right there without funds, without the financial capital that you need, without an office, without having so much put in place already, just by sharing on your social media platform. That's one very effective tool of actually trying to set up a business without capital, using your social media capital. So you have followers, even if it's 200, if it's 200, 300, 500 followers, you have all of that. I can hear myself back.
I think the echo should have stopped now, Nungu.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. All right, so I was saying your social media capital, very key, very important. You have 200 followers, 100 followers, and it's not really the matter of the number of followers you have, it's the manner of engagement you have with them, how you're relatable to them, how you're trying to solve their problem. If you're sharing with them and they're eating up whatever thing you're saying, it means that there's a business niche there. Maybe you're sharing about time management, and every single time you bring up write-ups, you talk about things that people could do more efficiently, how people should record meetings, how people should be able to set alarms on certain things, how people should be able to invite people to meetings, set timers for every kind of thing, basically, and even for their project. And little by little, people start consulting you because they want to be able to set like a timeline on things that they would do, because time is really, really important. And a lot of people get lost in it and then forget to do a lot of things because you're not able to like efficiently manage your time. That is you now consulting for people, sharing your ideas. People are reaching out to you, companies telling you to come and talk to people, train people on how to use time better. Or you're basically just always sharing your story. And because of how well you can write, how well you're telling your story, big brands can also look at you and be like, okay, this person writes really well. This person could be like a content creator. That is a business that you're starting. And when you're doing all of these things, you can decide not to just be writing or creating content for one brand. You're creating content for numerous brands and you're managing their social media account. You're creating stories for them. This is because of the skill and knowledge that you have, because you're able to tell a story, and that is content creating. That is a business that you're starting with zero capital, financial capital, because you have your social media capital, which is what would like expose you to that niche. And then you also have the WhatsApp where you're putting things on your status. And because every single time on your WhatsApp as well, you're sharing certain things, you use the business WhatsApp where you do a catalog of maybe things that you have to sell, maybe e-product, or maybe you just want to be selling or reselling even. You want to be reselling products. Maybe you have a cream, for example, that you got and you were not even able to use it because of maybe one thing or the other. You could put that on sale. So you're kind of like reselling old things. And with that, maybe you're even reaching out to other people to get their own things that they don't want to use and try to resell them on your platform. So because people trust you, they are able to now buy those products from you because they trust that you will not sell something fake to them. These are all things that you could do without actually investing like finance into it. You're also able to do the print on order. So you have customized items, you have beautiful shirts, and then you have free version of Canva that you can always use. You have free version of a lot of graphic designing apps like GoDaddy Studio as well that you could use. And you use this app and then you create like very good mock-ups of maybe t-shirts that you've designed, maybe mugs, different things, and then you put them on your catalog. And then your business is basically like a pre-order basis kind of thing. So that's your business model, that people have to pay you before you deliver goods to them. So when you've put all of your product on your catalog, when people want one of these customized shirts or they want another customized one for them, you're able to do that based on the money that they've paid you for the pre-order. So it's not your own money now you're actually using to do all of the things you need to do. You've only just design a mock-up. You've not actually printed that product. When people pay you, when the pre-order for those products, that is when you actually now spend the money that they have given to you to pay for those products and then ship back to them. At this time, you're not losing because they've paid you already. They've paid shipping fee, they've paid for delivery, they've paid for the product design itself, they've paid for the production, and then your profit is still also there. And then little by little, you're making your money. There's also the aspect where you have your ebook, which you can just sit down and write on a topic that you're really good at. That's why, again, we say experience and knowledge. It could be about time management, it could be about grant writing, things that people are really interested about. And then you put the ebook and you could sell it like for 500 or for 200 naira, an amount that a lot of people will be able to afford, because when you put this little money now at this point, is the number of people that will purchase your items that will matter. So if you're selling for even 100 naira, for example, and 100 people buy that product, you've made something out of it because you didn't actually spend money to even like create the product. You just put it on WhatsApp or wherever you want to put it and you're able to like sell it out. And you can easily design a book using Google Doc. You can easily design something using Microsoft Word as well. You have all the design tools where you can convert to PDF and do all of those things. So those are the ways that you could combine and then create these ideas, different kind of ideas that you could create. You could do artworks as well, different things basically without having the financial capital. And then by the time you're doing these things, like even little by little, alternatively, you have this idea, you've done your research already, you've asked your friends, will you buy this product if I start selling them? Will you do this if I start selling? Maybe you put out a Google form out and you just want to ask people's opinion about what is the greatest problem that you have now that if they solve for you would really like be a solution for you, really, that will make your life easy. This is a topic you can even put on Facebook or Twitter and just ask people's opinion. What's bothering you right now? What's the biggest problem that you have right now? How do you think that problem will be solved? What do you think somebody can do for you to solve this problem? And you're just reading everything people are saying and you're featuring it. And then at the end of the day, you take the one big idea you've gotten from everything that they have shared and you turn that into a business. You turn that into a business because that is people's pain point. The things that they have issues with is their pain point. Now you're looking for a solution for them. So you could either use this idea and do all of these other things I have said, or you do the market survey now proper, because you've asked these questions on Facebook and all of that. Maybe you now put out a Google form and tell people, okay, I've listened to all of the ideas you had, everything you shared. I've created a Google form. Could you help me fill? This is you conducting a market survey. You're talking about maybe you want to focus on Lagos or Abuja, wherever basically you are. You're able to because certain products might work in a state and not work in another state based on the demographics, the things that are happening in that particular place. Like we said earlier, what will work for Lagos might not work for maybe Abuja because maybe there's no traffic in Abuja. So everybody would prefer to go to the market and actually purchase their things rather than pay money to someone to do it for them. So you need to put all of those things in mind as well, that no two locations are really the same. Your client would maybe even be different people. You have little versions of those people maybe spread across. But if you want to do something, it's always better to also start small and then just do a test and a piloting. So by the time you've shared this Google form, you're asking people how much would they even pay for the product. So maybe you put 3 different amounts, the maximum, the minimum, and the medium amount, and then ask them to pick how much they'll be willing to pay for this product if it was available. And then by the time you've received that form, you see all of that form. And through the form that you've sent, you start building what is called a business plan. So by the time you've built your business plan, basically, you see that your business plan helps you really, really well because you're able to use it to just do a lot of things. and I'm going to show you the next slide on the structure of a business plan. You could put this business plan and then also do what is called a pitch. So when you've done like a pitch deck, which is like, just like you have this slide here, you can do a slide where you have like your problem statement, your solution, your strategy, all of those things. And then you can start sending letters to investors, or you can start sending or applying for grant applications. If you're a social enterprise, some very big grants, you could get that to also fund your business. If you want to do core for profit businesses, you could use or go for incubation programs like the Orange Corner incubation program. That's a really amazing program for people that are based in Lagos. And they have like really good funding for every single person that gets into the program. And then they have like a larger funding pool again. So these are some of the things. And we have like a lot of incubation program, not just the Orange Corners. And all of these ones, you just need to submit your idea. I can remember, I think then in 2020, I think there was, and I think it's still available, the March 4th program. That's for Professor Osibanjo. So there's this thing they do for Professor Osibanjo where his friends come to, they call it Friends of Prof. His friends come together and then they try to, they're trying to help youth. So they ask you to write like a one-pager. What's your business idea? Talk about your business idea, the funding streams, your revenue, talk about the solution, your market strategy in that one page, and then submit it. And that period, I submitted a business grant and I actually won as well. So those are some of the things that you could look out for, right? So you could see some of those things, one page, and you could see some that would take 10 pages, 25 pages, that will be more intensive. And then there are some that are really, really easy. You also have the Tony Elumelu program, where you're also able to like get trainings and all of that. And you're able to also access funding from there. And you have numerous other ones that you could also find on opportunity decks, where they're always putting entrepreneurship awards. So at this point, because you're not hoping that because you've started something without capital, that you will never need capital to like upscale or do anything more. You're only starting without the capital, but you still need your social media capital is there, your human capital is there. So at this point, you now want to look for funding so that you're able to like establish yourself. And then you launch an online presence. That's using your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Twitter, or using Google Workspace to design like a mini website where you're able to do your things. And one of the most important things, which is funding. So there's no way we're going to run away from funding no matter what, because sooner or later, you're still going to need funding to upscale your business. So when you want to structure your business, this is like just the thing you need for your business plan. You have your business description, which is talking about like the pain point of the prospective client, the problem to be solved, and what your business model is. So what you're doing here now is you have the name of the proposed name of the business you want, you write it, and then you write what this business is for. So maybe this is an e-commerce business that is trying to solve the problem of e-waste, those kind of things. So you write the problem. I always advise people that if you want to try to write like a problem statement, it should be particular to the area where you want to deliver that solution. So for example, if you want to deliver a solution in a place like Kaduna, and there's a particular problem that you want to solve in Kaduna, it could be good to give like a context about what is really happening in Kaduna, how this is a serious issue, especially if you want investors to be interested in the program. So an investor could see something, they like to see the figures, like that's the monetary value and all of those things. But they also need to see the context, because without the context, they will not trust your figures. So the context is going to tell them that this is really an issue in Kaduna State. And if we invest, this is truly what we're going to get. This will be like the financial projections of this business. So if your business context is not something that is really, really strong, and the issue that you're trying to solve is not like a real issue in that particular place, and then you talk about your competition and you're doing the exact same thing your competitions are doing, your competitors and all of that are doing, somebody might be reluctant to want to fund your business because it's like doing the same thing again. So what's the different thing that your competitor is doing that you want to do? So you have all of that in your business description, what the context is. Kaduna is so and so. Predominantly, this is what people do in this place. This is what they have. This is what they don't have. This is the issue here. So this is now the business model that I want. It's going to be like a digital program. It's going to be an ebook. It's going to be that. You've written the model. Your model could also be that you want people to do a pre-order basis kind of thing, like we said on the print on demand, either print on demand, or you want to have like your ebook sold, or you want to sell to people using different monetary value. So maybe you want to sell to people using a strategy you call, and this is something I did for my own self, for my business as well, because I have Kawambe, which is a for-profit business. And I got into the Orange Corners Incubator Program with that. And I got into Tony Elumelu also with that idea. And Kawambe is like an alternative menstrual product business, social enterprise that is trying to make usable cloth pads available to women on a certain budget basis. So it's not like we have a fixed price for every single person. There's a price, but we also sell to you based on the budget that you have. So if your budget is maybe 1,000 Naira, we're going to have pad available for your kind of budget. So we're not trying to limit people. And that's the business model for this, because we know that if you set a certain price for things, maybe not everybody will be able to afford it. And that's going to like limit the essence of the structure of the business, the way we wanted to handle it. So we had to do it on a budget offering. So if, for example, you bring so and so amount, we could give you, maybe it's only 2 pads we'll give you, or maybe just 3 pads, maybe 4 pads, but based on the budget you have, we'll be able to like arrange something for you. So that's basically the business model for that business that I have. So you could have like different business models. It could be the pre-order, like we said. It could be that people pay you a certain percent and they pay a certain percent later. It could be that you're telling people to pay in installments. So people pay 5%, people pay 10% later, maybe at a stretch of 3 months until they get their product. Maybe once they pay the first one, they're able to get their product, just based on the kind of people that are your clients. So who is like your customer? Who are you looking at to be your customer? What's your customer like? What are the characteristics of your customer? Sometimes we make this mistake for the businesses that we have, where you just tell yourself that, oh, I want to sell to young girls. You want to sell to young girls, but what kind of young girls? How old are they? Where do they live? Are they staying in rural communities? Are they staying in urban communities? How much do they earn? Are they high income earners? Are they low income earners? Because this is where your business model will really come from after you've known, like you've conducted a customer profile. You know what your customers do. They have maybe a certain hobby based on the kind of thing you want to sell. Like maybe they travel a lot. If you want to do like a business in the tourist site or whatever thing it is you want to do, you want to look at the way that your customers behave. Do they always read? Like you can't start selling books to somebody that doesn't like to read. You can't start forcing someone who is not an art enthusiast to become painting, start painting and doing all of those kind of things. So you want to like outline certain characteristics, attitudes, characters that you want your customers to have. Could be travelers, could be busy working moms, busy working dads, it could be home dads, those kind of things. And then when you have those profiles, it's really able to help you define what your business model will now be for those people. That's very strategic. And then when you've done that, like you see, we spoke about the market research already, where you're conducting studies using Google Forms, using surveys, talking to people basically. And this applies to, if you want to upscale and maybe your business then was in Kaduna, you want to now upscale and maybe add 2 more states. So you want to do Ogun State, you want to do Edo State. You can't just stand up and now launch and say, oh, today we're in Edo State and we are in Ogun State. You still have to conduct market research. You still want to know if people in Ogun State and Edo State will buy your product. You want to know how much they'll buy it for. You want to know exactly what their own issue is, because maybe the way you handle business in Edo will slightly be different from how you handle it in Ogun. So business market research like happens throughout the time of your business, and even feedbacks that you get from your paying clients then would also be fed back into your research, because maybe at a point they are complaining to you about something. We no longer like the way you're doing this particular thing, change it to this way. That is everything changing around what you know about your business, things you now need to implement and all of that. And then you're able to like put what your product and services are. So what are you selling? What products are you selling? What services are you offering? So is it a consultancy service you're offering? An hour is how much? How much are you paying? Is it a public event you're doing? How much are they paying for it? Is it a project management class you want to do? How much is the fee for it? For how many hours? For how many days? What are the expectations for this particular product? What does it do? If it's a product, maybe skincare product that you want to sell, body cream, you want to sell, you want to make clothes to sell, those are your products. So you have to write exactly what those products are. Again, for like, Kawambe, which is the alternative menstrual product. We have like 3 main products that we use. Our major product is the usable cloth pad, but for the usable cloth pad as well, we have like different categories, 3 major categories for the product. So all of those things, you need to define them. Maybe one of this particular product will tend to women that have maybe heavy flows. Another would tend to people that have average to medium flows. Another would tend to people that have really low flow and all of those kind of things. Or we have product for pregnant women. So all of those products have to be different. So you can't say you're doing, or you want to create a cream, for example, even, and say everybody would be able to use that cream. It's going to be for certain skin type. It's going to be for certain people. Even when you make clothes, they will be for certain body size. So you want to illustrate that so the person really knows that you know exactly what it is you want to do. And then you put in what your marketing strategies are. How are you going to advertise your business to your prospective clients? How are they going to know about you? What social media campaigns are you using? Are you using ads? Are you using email marketing? Are you using WhatsApp? How are you going to reach out to them? And again, how are you also going to deliver that product to them? Are you going to do where they pay online on the website and then they are able to order and immediately everything is like fixed? Or do they call you, make the order, and you start putting everything in place? You need to define all of that. And then you need to create your financial plan. How are you going to be getting revenue? How do you hope to even get like your capital? So your capital now, you're looking at maybe loans, you're looking at investment, angel investors, you're looking at incubation programs, you're looking at equity, you're looking at grants. So those are like different streams of income. You can also look at friends and family, you look at crowdfunding. All of those things are different mediums that you could like get your revenue from. And then you're looking at your own spending. How much are you going to spend to be producing this service that you have or this product that you have? So if there are products that will need you to spend a lot producing, how much are you going to need to do that? Do you need equipment? How much will your equipment cost? You want to draft a budget for every single thing that you need to be able to like upskill. You're looking at the fact also that maybe their website to pay and all of that, you want to put all of those things. Then you want to look at your spending. Are you employing people? How much are you going to be paying salary? What are the taxes you're going to be paying? So important. You check the laws in your country and then you start checking what tax am I eligible to pay if I start doing this at this rate and all of that. And then you want to have write your competition, like who are your competitors in this particular thing you're doing. So every single business you're doing will be something that possibly somebody is already doing. What is that thing that person is doing that you want to do differently? Maybe these people do this business in Edo State and this business is not in Benue State. So you want to replicate this business in Benue and then maybe bring it in a context way, in a way that it applies to people in Benue. And that's again why I said context is very important, because the way you do business in Lagos is not how business will again work in Benue. So you want to be able to like do all of those things. So somebody's doing something, you just like the idea, you could take permission from them, or you could just rework and replicate exactly what they are doing, but in a different space. Your names and everything, and just see that, okay, this thing is solving problems for people, just like how a lot of people have car washing places in their places, just like people here will obviously need to wash their cars as well. So everywhere you open it, you know that maybe you have customers, but there are certain places, again, you open a car wash center that you won't even get one single person come in a day. So all of those kind of things. Then maybe your competitors, maybe there's a different way that people order and get those products and it's frustrating them. So you want to bring an easier way of delivering products to your clients. That's a different way you're handling your business that would already be different from how your competitors are doing. Now, again, what sets us apart with Kawambe, we don't just give out or sell usable cloth pads and all of that. We also give information, we train and all of that. So it's kind of like different from how every other person is giving menstrual products and all of that. So there has to be a uniqueness. They will ask you, what is your selling point? What is that one thing that is different from what your competitors are doing? And that is the basis through which your investors will also like want to invest in your business. And in your financial plan, you're also adding like your financial projections. How much do you hope to make in like the first year, the second year, in 5 years' time? How much would your business have made? And that's the numbers that investors see and start calculating. Or if they see that your business already doesn't look viable based on the description you're giving it, based on the market research you've done and all the things you're telling them, then they know that the figures that you've all put there is just mouth. It's not something that is going to like really, really happen. So these are some of the things that you could do to be able to like have a business without having financial capital to it. So this is the much that I can go on this topic for today. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Ungu. Thank you so much. Please, can you, if you have questions, you can drop them on the chat. We have 2 sections for today. So I want to quickly wrap up. If you have questions, kindly drop them on the chat box. I will take your questions. Thank you so much. Mind blowing.
Thank
you so
you.
much. Questions.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I was wondering, Ungu, you said something about, identifying who your real market, who your target population is, and then, tailoring them to your business plan. So say, for instance, someone I have a business idea to sell maybe skin products, right? And then people around me, my current location, are not people that can probably afford that. How are you, given that we have to start from at least where you are, how do you do that without harming your own business, where you have ideas or where you know that, this is the amount your product is supposed to cost, but then because the people around you and you feel that they're not able to afford it at that moment, what do you do in that context? And also, I was wondering if you could share any personal experience on how you pitched for a particular business and then you got that. How did you go about the grant proposal? How did you find out about the grant proposal? And then how are you able to go about it to sell your pitch for your business? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I would say for me, the truth is when I started Kawambe, most of the grants for SIF, that's for the non-profit organization, most of the projects that we applied for are not projects, some of them are new projects. They are not things we started doing. They are things that we had ideas about, we did research around them, and then we submitted grant proposals for them. So when we submitted the grants and we like won those grants, that's when we implemented those things. For Kawambe, however, I didn't start it until I actually got an investment for it. So what I did was I had the idea, I'd written down something about it, what I wanted. I already knew I wanted to do it like on a budget offering and all of that. So it wasn't even going to like cost so much for people to buy, but I didn't have all of the equipment that I needed. I needed electric sewing machines, I needed washing machines, I needed dryers. There were so many equipments that I needed and I couldn't afford those things at the time. So what I did was I created like a document, a business plan like this, where I put in everything that I wanted. I estimated how much money I was going to make, especially because I was selling it at so lower price. And then I also put future supplement like products that I could add to it if the business becomes like viable. And then I searched for incubator programs. So I used opportunity decks. That's like one of my way of finding grant proposals and incubator programs for you to get funding, opportunity decks. So I went on opportunity decks, and as I was browsing through, I saw Orange Corners. And Orange Corners is already something I've heard a lot about. It's a Netherlands-sponsored training for young people like living in Lagos. And because I lived in Lagos at the time, I was able to like just put an application in it and they were supposed to select like 30 people and then conduct an interview and then select a final 20 people. And so I passed through the first scale with the essay questions that were asked. So basically they'll ask you, what is your business plan? What's your business description? What are you hoping to do? What will the program help you for? When you want to apply for grant applications, they'll always ask you how you think the money is going to help you. So what's the money going to do? They want you to feel like, imagine I give you this money. I don't want you to now immediately be looking for money again. Let me give you this money and let whatever you're doing be sustainable. Let it not be that every single year you're needing to apply for grants to get it. Even though sometimes that's impossible because you always need maybe grants or something, you want that investor or the application people to know that really, really, whatever they are giving to you, you're able to like really tailor it into your business to ensure that your business is self-sustaining in a way that you don't always need to rely on grants and rely on people giving you money before anything goes well. So by the time you're able to like portray all of that in your written statement, your essays, sometimes they ask you again what like your experience is in that field. So this is like a menstrual product. And then because I've worked with my nonprofits for several years, we've done a lot of programs already. So I had a lot of ideas around menstrual hygiene, around menstrual health management and all of that. And then I had a lot of ideas on how to use certain tools. And then because at that point, I was already a project management expert, so I was able to infuse those things into my application. So by the time I passed the first scale, we had like a one-on-one interview where they were now asking questions again of, so if we select you and maybe we'll even fund you, how do you upscale your business? How are you going to upscale? You're doing other things, how you're going to like combine it so that your business also doesn't suffer. They're going to ask you those kind of questions. Now, some of these programs are not so strict because by the time you get in, you might need to change some things about your idea of the project that you have based on the trainings that they will give to you, or your idea would be good. So they'll pick you on the basis that this is a really good idea, and hoping that when they come in, they're going to train you so that your idea is now even much, much better and is more appealing to even like other investors and all of that. So after the interview, they selected 30 of us after the interview, and we did a 2 weeks training. So the 2 weeks training basically incorporated things like project management, like I said, how to pitch your idea, how to draft like a pitch deck, basically using slides where you're just telling somebody, this is a problem I want to solve. This is how I want to solve it. These are the marketing strategies I want to use. This is who my customer will probably be like. And then when you just write all of those things on like your pitch deck, you have illustration or very catchy pictures about what maybe how a happy customer would look like, then sample products of what your product will also look like. If it's a physical pitch or even an online pitch, because I know that for most of the pitches that I've attended, I always had to have like a physical product so that I'm able to like show them this is what the product looks like. This is how it will fit. This is how you take it off. You want them to be able to see something. So even if it's 1 or 2 that you make for yourself, like you have a prototype that you're using to show people that this is a sample of what this thing looks like. This is what I have an idea of. If it's a website that you want to develop, for example, or like an app, you could still have a prototype, and this could like just be like a design, and then you're just showing them on paper what that design is like. And I have friends who most of the time draw their design even using like pen and paper. They're able to like make sketches of what they want, and then those are the things that you show during your pitch. So you're able to just tell them, this is how I'm really going to get customers, because you really need to convince them that your business is sellable, that you really get customers. So even if your business is very expensive, okay, for example, now you said yours will be expensive. If you want to make it expensive, they want to now really know who will be your customers. Obviously, if you want to make something expensive, it means that your customers will be high income earners. It cannot be people that cannot really afford that product. It will be high income earners living in a certain environment, not your immediate environment. Like you said, those are your customers. Using an online store, you could reach out to them, but you're pitching your idea first, because obviously you will not have all of it takes to like start selling ideas to those people. Or you could even do just a sample and then get one person, an influential person, to test that product. Once they've tested that product, you're able to like use the recommendation that they've given to be able to start marketing your program, your business. And that's how like different ways that you can do it. And by the time we pitched, then they now basically like a physical pitch. You talk, everybody, then they'll ask you questions. You have no idea the kind of questions they'll ask you, because different investors will ask you different things. And then after that, they now select you and they give you funding to start up. So basically that was how Kawambe started. And like I said, for the Friends of Osibanjo, that one was just like a one-pager. A friend just sent that link to me, and the deadline was like in 30 minutes time. So I just rushed through and then submitted something, and I was selected for that as well. So sometimes you can just be lucky, because there are a lot of amazing ideas out there as well. So everybody's just struggling. So you might get some, you might not get some. So when you even start and you're not getting it, don't feel like, oh, your idea is not good enough and all of that. It could just be that there are a lot of really good ideas and there are a limited number of persons that would be selected. I hope I did justice to your question.
Yes, thank you very much, Ingo. That was really eye-opening. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Wow, thank you so much. Are there other questions before we let Ungu go? Any more questions? Okay, so there are no questions on the chat room. Thank you so much, Ngunan.
Thank you for having me.
You are blessed to have you so much knowledge. Thank you so
Sorry,
much.
I have a question for Ungu actually before it goes again.
Go ahead.
So I was wondering, Ungu, I think someone else has a question. I think someone unmuted their mic. Chama, do you want to ask a question before I ask mine? Okay. I was wondering, Ungu, how did you make the shift from being a lawyer to, okay. Chama, do you want to ask a question?
No, sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay. How did you make your move from being a lawyer to going into project management? What informed that thought process? Because I mean, as a legal practitioner, I would think that the security and launching into project management. How did you make that shift? What did you have to do? Were there things that you probably were not able to apply for because of your background? So how did you make the switch, and how easy was it for you? And generally for people, maybe it could be someone, for instance, I did a health course, and then I want to, so I was having a conversation with Sokolo earlier today, and we were talking about business. And then if, say for instance, I'm interested in business and I don't have that background, how am I able to make that switch? I'm just wondering.
Okay, having experience in whatever you want to do is really, really key. Just like you said, for the menstrual health especially, I had to, when the business started getting funding and all of that, I had to now really look at, I needed to get some experts that were core experts in sexual and reproductive health and all of that, so that when people see my team, because sometimes there are certain proposals that you want to submit and they actually want to see who is in your team, because I feel like not everything you want to do or every business you would start alone. You could have co-founders. I think most businesses now even prefer that people do businesses together, informing the idea of more collaboration. So if you have 2, 3, 4 persons that are have the same idea about something, 4 of you could come together, merge your ideas together, and then see the different skills that you have. So for me, basically, I wouldn't entirely say that I made a switch, because I still practice as well. I would just say, yes, the project management kind of overrides the lawyer, the lawyer thing. But mostly I feel like being a lawyer has really helped me in the project management space, because law is a very organized and structured course. So it helps with all of that. And project management is kind of the same thing. You have to be really organized. It's so structured. There are a lot of things that are, you have to be flexible. But again, there are so many things, so many similarities between law and project management. Actually, they share certain attributes. So it was kind of really, really easy for me. And I think it was something that also helped me, because when I now tell people, oh, I'm a legal practitioner in anything I'm applying for, it gives them more assurance that, okay, she's a lawyer. So as a lawyer, I know the law. So people would expect that she will not be able to run away with the investment that we're giving her. She's going to know about tax. And these are things that you get taught in law as well. So it's a leverage rather than being a disadvantage for me, actually. So I'm able to combine all of those things together, because you could be consulting for someone in project management, but you're also giving them legal advice. So that's a plus. So you're able to infuse all of your knowledge in law into whatever thing that you're doing, which is there's also nothing you can really do without law, because you have to involve a lawyer in almost everything you're doing, and especially in business. And then you need project management as well. So these are 2 things that can't really do with each other. So I'm now able to be a person who has those 2 things. So that's quite easy for me. There are certain businesses that I would likely struggle to do, especially if I don't have an educational background in it, because obviously, but if I have team members, or I just bring someone who knows how to do that thing, and sometimes that person doesn't even need to be your co-founder. That person can just be somebody you're contracting to be able to work with you on the project. So if you need to build an app and this is a one-time thing you want to do, it's not a must that you're going to employ a web developer or an app developer continuously to be on your project. It could be that for the start, you're contracting this person is working with you on the project. And after the duration where they've done everything and everything is fixed, you could leave that person go and then just employ somebody who is able to work around on how to maintain and manage it. So you just have to be able to, and that is not everything you're going to be able to do, but try to always find someone who is an expert in that particular subject so that they are able to like know how to do that particular thing. But again, it's strange on how I feel like anything you're doing, you would have pretty much good idea around it, either experience-wise, knowledge-wise, or skills. And that's why I like use the three of them, because you most definitely have one of them at least that you're going to be able to leverage on. If I tell you all of my experiences about a particular thing, so even if I don't have sexual and reproductive health, like educational background, I have practical experience. I'm a woman, I bleed. So I know what I go through. I know the products that will work for me. I know the comfort I want to feel wearing a certain product. That alone should give me leverage that this is something I can do. If you're using certain creams and you're breaking out and you need a good cream, that will need a certain level of professionalism. And then you could recruit like somebody who is in that area to be able to like work with you. A lot of people who have skincare businesses are not people that really practice that in school. They just have people who work on their team that are able to like do those things for them. So that's, again, the power of collaboration and just like having team members that have idea about the thing you want to do, basically.
Thank you very much, Ngu. That was really insightful. I think that, it's very important for us to work in teams, because I feel that probably in Nigeria, the mindset is kind of like, well, I want to, champion this alone. I want to do this alone. Yes, alone. But then that mindset that, when you work as a team, when you work together, really, it actually does make a lot of profit, and it makes for a lot of things. And what you said about, knowledge, skill, and experience, at every point in time that there would be one that I have, that was really phenomenal for me. So thank you very much for answering the questions.
Welcome. All right. Thank you again for having me, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much, Ongo. Thank you so much.
All right.
So beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Wow.
All right. So permission to leave.
Yes, and some of us would like to connect with you quickly. If you can just drop your social media handles on the chat room. Yes. If I forget that.
I think if you check, everything that has me has my full names, and my website is here as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So I want to leverage on something. So Ungu, you just opened something for volunteering, for people to volunteer with you. So if you want to work with Ungu, I'm going to share that on the platform. So if you want to work with Ngu, if you're interested to work with her, I think Ngu is a phenomenal person. I've known Ngu for a short period of time, and I'm crushing on her too much. So if you want to work with Ngu, please do reach out. I think Ngu, it's on your LinkedIn. I think I saw that on your LinkedIn or something like that.
Yeah, if you check my website as well, I have something there, because I have a course on project management actually, and then we just set up a remote volunteer thing now in a way to give people experience, like practical experience of project management. So we have project management training, and after the training, I'm able to like assign you to work with a nonprofit so that you get hands-on practical skills on how to apply those project management skills to be able to like do your own personal things.
Yeah. So please leverage on that. Ngu is amazing. Thank you so much, Ngu.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Wow. Please, am I the only one that caught so much light? I want to see your comments on the chat room. If you caught so much light, please let me know. We'll be having our second speaker soon, but I want to know, am I the only one? Wow. So we don't have any excuses that, oh, I don't have enough money yet. So we can start with the business plan, a financial plan, leveraging our social media capital, like she said. I hope we took notes. Wow. Tonight's session was wow. I need to say our comment, wow, okay, I'm not the only one. Yeah, someone was saying she caught excess light. Wow. Please hope we took notes and hope we are ready to kick off. This is the push that we need. This is the push some of us need. I myself, I got enough push. I'm kicking off as the word is kick off. So please, there's time for incubation, yes, but please, let's also push forward and also act, execute. I think what we need now, the essence of this program is so that everyone will be able to execute those plans you've had for a while, those things you've planned up. It's time to execute them now. Yeah, so we have the bio of our second speaker. We'll be having Blessing Ochonogor take us on LinkedIn optimization and tips for career growth. So I'll quickly read Blessing's bio now. She's in the room with us. Blessing Ochonogor is a well-seasoned quality control professional with one of the leading beverage drink producing companies in Nigeria. She is the convener of Speak Out, an online religious platform. She is the pioneer of Feed the Hungry initiative, an NGO geared towards addressing SDG Goal 2 of achieving zero hunger by 2030, and a co-founder of Initiative for Malnutrition, Health and Well-being. In 2021, she was awarded the most influential LinkedIn personality product brand category by Britech Plus Enterprise, a professional certification company. So please, with a round of applause on the chat room, can we welcome Blessing Ochonogor? Can we welcome Blessing Ochonogor? Welcome, Blessing. Nice to have you. Welcome. That's super excited to have you with us. Welcome. She's one of us. She's one of us in PSLN. Yes, we celebrate you, ma. Please take the floor. Welcome, Blessing. This woman is a woman of power. Tonight is power packed, like so much insight. Welcome, Blessing. Welcome. Yes, you can pick up now.
I don't know how many things I'll do at the same time. Just getting confused right now.
Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So sorry. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Chidima Sopolo, for inviting me in to speak to this house. So sorry, my lightning is bad. And also, I would like to apologize ahead of time. I wasn't able to connect my laptop to Zoom. So that's why I might not be sharing slide today, but at least I will share something with us. All right. Okay. So before I start, I want to put a background on how I got that award as the most influential LinkedIn personality, since I'll be talking about LinkedIn optimization. So prior to 2021, January, where the House of PSLN caught a vision, or should I say a prophetic word for the house on influence, affluence, and dominance. In 2019, I actually had, either 2019 or early 2020, I had the opportunity of registering for LinkedIn optimization and also CV writing. But I never made any good use of it. I just wanted to learn. I just wanted the knowledge. But in 2021, when the House of PSLN had that prophetic word, it was as though it was spoken to me. So somehow I took my LinkedIn seriously. In 2020, I wasn't serious at all with my LinkedIn. I was just there. I put out content, but I don't have more than 50 views. So, but in 2021, I became more intentional about my LinkedIn. And surprisingly, I got noticed by a whole lot of people, and I moved from 50 views to around 16,000 views in some of my posts. And the least I could actually get is around 3,000 views. So how did I move from 50 views to around 3,000 views, or to 16 and sometimes 20,000 views? It's not just about the prophetic word, and that's why I want to speak to us tonight. Now, we can actually amen prophecies, but we need to act on those prophecies. And that was what was different about mine. So I started learning more about what can I do to make my LinkedIn differently. And so that is what I'll be sharing with us tonight. And if at all you're not going to learn anything tonight, just learn two things. For you to optimize your LinkedIn, you need two things basically. You need content and you need connect. You need content and you need connect. With these two things, you can actually have the kind of presence you need. Now, it's not just about showing up on LinkedIn and sharing content and connecting with people. It's what you do with that level of influence. So with the level of influence I gained on LinkedIn, I had several opportunities, though some I declined because some were not really tallying with my faith and what I want to do with my life. But then it brought me face to face with certain opportunities I never planned or I never visioned I would ever come face to face with. So that's why LinkedIn is a platform you need to be sleeping on, literally. So you need to literally sleep on LinkedIn if you really want to have the kind of influence in your career that you want. Now, what's LinkedIn? LinkedIn is this professional social media platform that you use to sell ideas, businesses, and also talk about what you love to do. So I can talk about cooking, I can talk about food, I can talk about several things. Let me see if I can share something with us all. Please, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, so
yes, we can.
Literally, this is my LinkedIn page. So like I said, there are two things we need to learn. We need to learn about content and we need to learn about connect. These two things are what I'll basically be talking about tonight. With these two things, you can actually pull the kind of influence you have never thought about pulling before in your life. And that was what I did differently. Now, the first thing is, let's start with content. All right. And from content, I'm not just talking about the body of what you write. I'm talking about from your profile to what people should know about you. Now, sometimes when you open or try to connect with some people on LinkedIn, the first thing is that they don't have a banner. You see, if you see the part that I have, food doctor, physicist, career coach, leadership expert, anybody that opens my LinkedIn will know that anything I'm going to be talking about will be categorized around this four. So it's very important you have a well-structured niche. So as regards content, the first thing you should know is that you need a niche for yourself. What can people identify you with? Don't just be writing about anything. You should be known for something. People should be able to identify you with something. So have a banner, all right? Not everybody will have the luxury of time to go through all your posts. They might just want to know, okay, Blessing Ochonogor, what's she about? Who is she? So once they go to my LinkedIn profile, they should be able to see the core things that I stand for. All right. So a banner is very important. Let it be very short and let it be very precise. Now, when you see the part I wrote, food doctor, most influential, that's my profile. You need to sell yourself as high as possible. There's nobody that should come in contact. Even if you say, okay, what am I going to put there? I don't really have work experience, but you are something, all right? You have energy that you bring to your team. You have skills, right? You have things that you've done before. You don't necessarily have to be something huge, but as long as you have a skill. Recently, someone contacted me. I was like, I don't really have a work experience. So what would my profile look like? I started asking her, what are your skills? She said she can write stories. Then you write it. It should be part of your profile and not just have a blank profile. Anybody that logs onto your LinkedIn should see a very attractive profile. Once they can see that there's this compelling effect that your profile would give you. And once you can do that, it starts selling you like crazy, all right? So have a very compelling bio that people can see and want to interact with, all right? Then have a very professional profile picture. Some people will use the kind of pictures they have on their Instagram, the one they snapped on the beach, as their profile picture. People might look at you as an unserious person, all right? So have a professional headshot. That's the word, professional headshot. If there is nothing, you don't have any picture at all in your life and you hate pictures, please get a professional headshot that you can use. Now, even if you cannot get a professional headshot, but you have this very good picture you can use and turn into a headshot, it's very important. Don't use revealing outfits as your profile picture. It sends a whole lot of wrong message to your audience. So have a professional headshot for yourself, have a banner, have an attractive bio. Then another thing about content I would also like to highlight is your about. All right, there's an about section on your LinkedIn. Let me see if I can share that as well. Let me see if I can share that with you. So sorry. I don't know why I'm finding it difficult. All right, so but let me see if I can do that in a couple of I don't know why I'm finding it difficult to share.
Sure, Blessing. I'll just probably when you're ready, just while you're trying to fix that, I think that one of the things that Blessing have said that is very phenomenal is selling yourself in terms of content, and being out there. You know, oftentimes when people go so I think I've applied for a particular job, and then, you know, on LinkedIn you get notifications on people that viewed you. And then I saw that one of the people that viewed me actually worked in that particular place that I was applying for a job. So it just leaves digital footprints for you. Blessing, whenever you're ready, let me know.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready now.
Okay, you're ready now. Okay, that's awesome. So it leaves digital footprints. I have gotten a job from Twitter. So there's so much, there are things that are unlimited, that you can do on social media. So I'll just hand over to Blessing so she can continue. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Chidima. That's very, very a wonderful contribution. So this is my bio. And one thing you should know is that you shouldn't just have a default bio. You can always update your about section. So when you go to your profile area, just scroll down to where, or almost to the bottom of your LinkedIn page, you will see an about section. Most times people's about section is always empty. All right, this about section is like, what do you want people to know about you? All right, the profile will not give you more than 220 words to write. You don't have more than 220 characters to fit into your profile. So the about section gives you the opportunity to tell people the kind of experiences you have, what you think you can share, and what people should know about you. This helps people or anyone that is strolling into your LinkedIn page to have a background knowledge about who you are. And they will now know, okay, I think I can connect with this person. Now, before anyone is attracted to your main content or your daily post, the first thing they want to know is about who you are and what you stand for. And that's why having an about is very, very important. Most people keep this place blank or keep it too simple. It's an opportunity, it's an avenue to have let's just say it's a cover letter of yourself that you are presenting on LinkedIn. There's nothing wrong in having your CV on your LinkedIn. Now, there's also open to work banner. Some people use that. It's very important. It brings you face to face with employers. Okay, they need to know, okay, this person is open to work at the moment. All right. So being open to work is not bad. Try to use it if you know you need job ASAP. Now, also when you go to your LinkedIn page, it tends to ask you, what sectors are you interested in? All right. Don't just be selecting anything. What are your interest areas? So if you go to my own LinkedIn page, you see I talk about self-development, I talk about leadership, I talk about the food industry because I'm in the food industry, okay? So most times people who would be viewing or interested in my profile or connecting with me will be people around the circle, people that are interested in leadership, people that are interested that within the FMCG sector, that's the food and manufacturing sector. So most people that want to connect with me will be revolving around this sector. So it's very important that you have an attractive bio, because most people that will be visiting your page will be people who would be around your interest areas. So imagine the person that viewed my profile is the HR of Promasidor. All right. If I don't put it there that, okay, I can operate a Conti flow machine, how would they know that I can do it? If I don't tell them, okay, I have experience in American standards, how would they know I can do it? So it's important your about session is as sleek as possible. All right. So the last thing I'm going to be talking about, content again, before we move to connect, is a model that any marketer knows. All right. The model is called AIDA, AIDA, AIDA model. So it's an acronym for attention, interest, desire, all right, and action, all right. This is a marketing tool every marketer knows. So you want to market yourself, you want to market products, you want to market services, you need to understand how this model operates. Now, how does it operate on LinkedIn? The first thing you need to learn to do on LinkedIn whenever you want to post anything is, what am I going to post that will catch people's attention? Before you can gain their interest in you or whatever you are saying or whatever you have to sell, whether it's a product, whether it's yourself, whether it's a service, it has to catch people's attention. How do you do that? First of all, like I said, have this very attractive bio, have this very attractive about section, then have a very beautiful header whenever you are making a post. All right. So let me give you an example. I want to talk about mentoring. Yes, I want to talk about, let's say I want to talk about reading, why people should read. If I just put a header like reading is good, oh my God, you will just be at, if you have like 10 views, glory be to God, because most people already know reading is good. All right. Most people already know that it's important for them to read. So they might not be so interested in your content. But what if I say something like are you discussing with dead men? Or how do you discuss with dead men? You will see people flooding, like, how? I don't understand, dead men. But you know, most of the people that author books are dead. You understand? So people want to interact with such kind of content. So like my post for yesterday or today had something to do with fast tracking your blessing or fast tracking situations or things that happen in your life. You want to cut corners, you want to graduate before your time, you want to get job, you want to do this. If I just bring it like that, most people will not want to interact with it. So one thing I did, I used as my bio, my header was stop ripening your fruits prematurely. All right, stop ripening your fruits prematurely. And I had the kind of audience I needed, because people want to know, okay, or you say, why ripening your fruits prematurely? People will want to know what you're talking about. And by the time they go down your content, they begin to see that, oh, she really has something to sell. You really have to. So you need you need to have this very attractive header whenever you want to make a post. Don't just put headers that are not attractive. Most people want to relate with things that are relatable. All right. Even if you want to talk about business, don't just come and say, you know, growing in business, you need mentors. Growing in business, you need capital. When you put it like that, these are ordinary things that anybody who did not go to school will know. So you need to bring a very attractive header that whenever anybody is looking at it, it's catching their attention and it's invariably fueling their interest, all right? You keep the suspense, especially if you're a good content writer. You need to fuel their interest by what? Giving them a very catchy header. Once they get the catchy header, their interest is being fueled, all right? And once their interest is fueled, they desire your products. They desire who you are. They want to interact with you. And because people are interacting with you, you are coming face to face with opportunities. Come on, the people you're dealing with are professionals. These are people who are diving in, their big names or giant names in different industries that they're operating. So it is very important that you understand this concept, all right? Once their desires are being fueled, men, they want to connect with you, and that's the action. They want to buy your products, that's the action. They want to connect with your services, that's the action. So once you can learn to apply either model principle rightly, I'm telling you, you are so good to go, all right? So that's all about what do I call it? That's all I want to tell you about the first C. Now, the second C is about connect. I said the first one is content. The second one is connect. Please learn to connect with people. Learn to engage under people's posts. Tony Elumelu said something and it catches your attention. Learn to say, oh, beautiful piece. Click like. I think the LinkedIn algorithm is not really a fan of share. So learn to comment under people's posts. If you share people's posts, let me give you a secret. If you share people's posts on LinkedIn, you will have very, very low engagement because the LinkedIn algorithm is not really friendly with sharing. But once you can comment under people's posts, you get to have more engagement. There's what we call social Saturday. A lot of people post it on their LinkedIn. Try and connect. There are a whole lot of people doing massive stuff on LinkedIn, all right? So someone like Emmanuel Nduka is having 120K followers today. That was not where he started. He's just an undergraduate student. And he's here and there flying up and down. It took him time. It was because he commented. He's always talking about Tony Elumelu as his mentor. He's always writing beautiful pieces about Tony Elumelu. And one day, Tony Elumelu loved what he wrote. He posted a picture of himself looking like Tony Elumelu, and that was it. He started appearing on almost every social media platform, and almost every newspaper was carrying him. So you need to learn to comment under people's posts. Don't be too big to click the like button or share or comment, all right? Because sharing is not really a friendly thing to do on LinkedIn, and that's what so many people don't know. All right, so learn to comment under people's posts, learn to connect. All right, local LinkedIn Local Lagos is coming up on the 20th of this month, and it's going to be happening live in Lagos. I'm going to be sharing the link for us. A whole lot of HRs, big guys will be coming and converging in Lagos for that event, and it is free. So if you can't connect online, connect offline. It's very, very important. When you have engagements like that, events like that, it's very important that you learn to relate and try to connect with people. Just my time is almost up, but I'll just quickly say one or two things about CV because it's very important for your career growth, all right? It's not everything that should be on your CV. If you have these things I'm going to be mentioning now, go and remove it. If you have your age on your CV, remove it. You have your religion on your CV, remove it. You have your marital status on your CV, remove it. You don't need that on your CV, all right? You are looking for a job. Unless you want to apply for maybe a pastoral role or something, they don't need to know if you are the mommy Gio of your church, all right? They don't need to know that you are the wife of whoever. You don't need that on your CV. Remove that. And I know there are different templates that are out there for you to use to generate your CV. But there is one kind of CV I want to recommend for you to have, and that is a Europass CV. Europass, like normal European, and pass, P-A-S-S. So a Europass CV is very important. Once you have a Europass CV, it's like a standardized kind of CV that those in the European countries and even America acknowledge such kind of CV. So if you have the normal usual CV that everybody has, or you have such kind of templates on Microsoft Word, you can also generate a Europass CV. So you can always Google how to generate a Europass CV. So it's very important, get a Europass CV for yourself so that whenever you are applying, especially for opportunities abroad, you are not using just any kind of CV, but you are using a standardized kind of CV. And that CV, like I said, I just suggested one for you, is a Europass CV. All right. So I don't want to eat too much. It's already 9:30. Thank you so much, House of PSLN, for bringing me in. I hope you all have learned something today. Please, even if you've forgotten about everything I've said today, don't forget these two things. For you to grow on LinkedIn, for you to grow your presence, grow your network, grow your net worth through LinkedIn, you need to what? Build strong content and strong connect. Thank you so much, House of PSLN. I'm very, very grateful.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Blessing. Well, I love that part of for you to grow your network through LinkedIn. I took note of that part. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. How many of us got value tonight? I want to see our comments. If you got value tonight, let me see your comments. Wow, wow. It was a brief session, 30 minutes, but it was my notes part. Like, I jotted down almost everything she said. I don't think there's any point I missed. Because my LinkedIn needs some reworking. I need to rework on my LinkedIn. How many persons got value? Okay, I can see our comments. Wow. Wow. Do we have questions? Before we let Blessing go? Do we have questions? We can take one or two questions because the night is fast. I can see someone raising a hand. Okay. I'll allow you on mute. I'll allow you.
Oh,
yes.
I think Afoke wants to go first, but probably
okay.
We'll just ask the questions together, then Blessing will answer them at once. So Blessing, thank you. I mean, honestly, it's really amazing. It's really awesome. Even I need to go back and look at my LinkedIn. So at times when I see other people's links, I'm so lazy to adjust some things. But now, really, I have to be very serious about it. So the thing I want to ask is with respect to jobs, right? So is there a way that one can maybe particularly look out for a specific job on LinkedIn? How do you get notifications, with respect to a particular job? How do you also get people? Because I talked with one of my friends and then he's like, oh, this person contacted him on LinkedIn. He didn't apply. The person just reached out to him like a HR person or something. So how do we maximize LinkedIn for getting jobs? That's what I would like to know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Chidima. Like I said, first of all, have a very good bio because your bio will sell you. Then also on your profile area, your interest area will also draw the right kind of people your way. All right. Let's say for example, you are a health practitioner. Why are you putting your interest in law? Unless maybe you want to do something around law. All right, you're a job seeker for maybe, let's say, creative writing and all that. Why is your interest area? Because it's going to show you different categories of interest areas as well as who you are. All right, who are you? I'm a quality control person. So in my profile area, you just see quality control analyst or quality control professional. The people that will be contacting me will be revolving around that area. Even though I'm going to be having other invitations from people from outside the FMCG sector, but because my interest has already been, pivoted around the FMCG sector, most likely those that will be contacting me will be revolving around this area. And that's how you get jobs without applying on LinkedIn. But if you want to apply, the same thing, because you've already indicated your interest around the FMCG sector, they will ask, it will also tell you, okay, what's your profession? You say you are a health practitioner. Do you want to start getting updates on LinkedIn? If you go to your profile area, it's so unfortunate that I can't share it through laptop. But if you go through your profile area, you will see sections that ask you questions on your profession. Once you select that, it will ask you if you want notifications. So it tends to send me, like, I don't get any notification about any job, whether locally or internationally, that is not around quality control. And that's because I decided to streamline my interest area on quality control. And because my profession reads quality control. But if you go and choose something outside your interest areas, you will not be attracting the right audience. The idea of this is to attract the right audience. What are your audience going to be looking out for? Your bio and your interest areas. Once you can have this, you'll be having the right kind of notification. I hope I answered your question, Chidima.
Yes, thank you very much. So I just wanted to quickly share my screen so that people can actually, probably you can just show where that is, where to look out for, if that would be helpful, because I want us to really see, in practical what you were trying to say. So this is my LinkedIn page. Can you see my screen now? Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so with respect to jobs, so what you're trying to say is, for instance, I could go click on here where I have jobs, right?
Yes.
And then where else would I have to go to?
You can still go to job alerts. You get job alerts.
Okay, job alerts. Okay. So these are the job alerts I've set for myself.
Yes, you understand. And that's because your profession is reading public health or anything that has to do with health. So the job alerts you'll be getting, you cannot get marketing there. You cannot get anything that has to do with marketing. It's all going to be around the medical field. And because you've set your job alerts to be revolve around the health. So if you choose business or you choose content writing, everything that you're going to be having there is going to be revolving around content writing.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Afoke raised her hand. Do you still want to ask your question, or has it been answered?
I'm sorry. I actually did that mistakenly. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's fine. So before Blessing rushes up, what I caught tonight, similar to what David Williams said last night. He said something about streamlining. And what Blessing said tonight about having an area of focus. Don't be everywhere at the same time. Because, LinkedIn, it's a marketing tool, like Blessing said, rightly said. So we don't want to get notifications on things that we're not interested in. That was one part I know I need to work on my own LinkedIn profile. So thank you so much.
Can I say something before I run off?
Go ahead.
Yes, you might be good at several things, but somehow be known for something. You might be good at several things. You might be good at several things. I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at what I do as a quality control professional. I'm good at music. I'm good at several things. I'm just assuming now. The world should not be knowing you for almost everything, all right? Even though I'm a quality control professional, if you go to my LinkedIn page, I don't really talk much about food, unless maybe I want to be relating what I want to say to food, all right? As much as I'm a quality control person. It's because what I want my audience to always learn from me has to do with career growth and leadership. I can use food or as illustrations, but my niche is not food. Get it? My profession is food, but what I want people to gain from me is not really revolving around food, even though I get to use food as my illustration. So my niche is not really food. My niche is leadership and coaching people, all right? So that's why you need to have an understanding of what do you want to use your LinkedIn platform for? Do you want to use it as a religious platform? It's all up to you. You want to use it to market your products, then it has to be well identified. All right. So that's what people will know you. So as much as you are good at several things, be known for something. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for clarification. Be known for something, have a niche, identify your niche. Thank you so much, Blessing. We are blessed to have you tonight. Thank you so much. You are indeed a blessing, really, a blessing to us. Thank you so much. How many of us got value tonight? I want to see our comments. I hope I'm not the only one. And please, Blessing, would like you to drop your social media handle. We want to connect with you. Please drop it on the comment section. Please drop your.
I think someone has a question for Blessing. Casey, on the comment.
I skipped that. Okay. Casey says, is LinkedIn best operated with its app? Because I open mine with email and it's quite frustrating. So Blessing, please, can you answer that? Blessing, are you there? Blessing.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Okay. Yes. It's more friendly. You operating LinkedIn using the app itself. It's much more friendly. You might be using a browser. It's not as if it won't work, but for more friendly features, I would just advise you go and download the app. Once you download the app, you can be able to connect without even necessarily putting your email. As long as you have a Google account, it can just upgrade quickly and ask you, okay, do you want to connect using your email or connect using your Google account? Once you can just click your Google account and it quickly takes you to the LinkedIn platform. I hope I've answered you. So please just go and use the app. It's more friendly. It's a better tool for you to use. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question for you, Blessing. Yes, it just came to mind. I see people post non-professional stuff in quotes, because you said if you want to use your LinkedIn for marketing, if you want to use it for religious posts, it's fine. But is it really advisable? There was a post I saw recently. Somebody was celebrating a car. She recently got a car. So she posted it on LinkedIn, people were congratulating her. On the comment section, I saw someone state that this is a professional platform and should not be used for celebrating acquisitions. So I'd like to ask, do people get to celebrate? I see people celebrate their birthdays on LinkedIn. I see people post their acquisitions. Is that really what LinkedIn is for?
Okay. Firstly, LinkedIn is actually a professional platform, no doubt.
Okay. It seems Blessing got having network issues. Who else can you hear Blessing?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Probably while we're waiting for her, I'll just try to throw in something with respect to the app and the browser. Hopefully, before I'm done talking, Blessing will be back.
All right.
So I think that's, like Blessing said, honestly, the app is way better. So I think I'll just share some minutes ago. You can get the LinkedIn Lite. I think every app has a Lite version. That's the LITE. So there are definitely advantages with using the core LinkedIn, right? But then with the LinkedIn Lite, you can be able to at least get access to some features, and it saves data and memory space. So it's just like getting Facebook Lite. Facebook Lite saves a lot of data than the actual Facebook app, but it's almost the same thing. I used to use the Lite version too before, so I think that's it. Then I don't know, some people, I'm not the Blessing is the LinkedIn expert, so, but personally, I think with respect to social, particularly for LinkedIn, in my opinion, I would say, this is my opinion, keep, even, it's not easy, sorry, someone made a very funny joke about how some people go on LinkedIn and not read exactly what the person said. Maybe the person is like, oh, I'm happy to announce something. Or maybe some person now says congratulations, and they're not really reading if that message actually requires congratulations. So the point I'm trying to make is that I feel that with LinkedIn, just generally keep your professional life and your personal life separately. Do you understand? Just like particularly areas where you're using to pitch for jobs or something, because like I said, people check it, they check it out, they run background checks on you when you fill in your application. So my personal opinion would be, things like that, does it really matter? Do people really need to know that you bought a new car? Seriously, on LinkedIn? Really, it's not really necessary. So I personally keep my LinkedIn for professional, LinkedIn, Twitter for professional stuff, right? If I want to share personal things, I can come to WhatsApp. I don't do Instagram that much. I've never had a post on Instagram, but then if you do Instagram, that's fine. But then I feel that with your professional stuff, just go there, put up your professional stuff, and then that's it. That's my opinion anyways. But things like this, people have differing opinions about it.
Okay. Because the person that actually said it said, especially if you have a need, or if you have an image you're trying to portray, some persons just come and post anything. I also have that personal belief that keep professional things professional. If you want to sell yourself as an expert, say for instance in writing, you have no business posting anything that does not have anything to do with you being an expert in that field. If you want to post yourself as someone that is a marketer, someone that helps to connect businesses to clients and all that, then you should only make posts that will show you as an expert in that field. Personally, I don't see the essence of posting personal acquisitions on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yes. That if you have a niche or an image you are trying to portray. Yes.
Yeah, I do share. I share the same views. I think social media is largely, but I think another danger. So I think I was on Twitter. We're trying to wait for Blessing to come back, but if we wait for her for a couple of minutes, probably should have to send the answers much later on the WhatsApp group, or probably when we're sending out the mails, we'll of course type in the answers to the question when we get it, so that we can let people go, because time is fast spent already. But then I think that another thing people should be careful with is, particularly with things you post about your courses, what you've done, right? Because someone can, people do put up under the education part, maybe you just took a short course from on Coursera on something, and then you're like graduate of Harvard. That's a lie, right? Of course, you can put that you did a short course. I know I've done short courses. So someone was of the opinion that LinkedIn is kind of like a place where different people just put up stuff, and then when it comes to actual skills, they don't have it. Just be honest. Do you understand? If you did a short course for so and so, if it's a volunteering job you did for so and so, just put it as a month, put it as how it is really, right? People will be able to get, and people will, no matter how little you think it is, it's actually a lot. But then don't go on putting, because another thing is, if say for instance for me, if I'm well knowledgeable about short courses and I know that this is a short course and I see that you would graduate of Harvard, if I was a HR person, I was actually interested in you, that has cut me off already, because I don't want to deal with someone that is dishonest about what they've done. So as much as you're trying, yes, be honest while you're also sharing. So yeah, I think I'll hand over to you now, Sopolo.
Okay, is Blessing back? She isn't back yet.
Yeah.
Okay, she's back.
Sorry.
Nice to have you back.
Sorry, yo. So sorry. My network. Okay, so let me just quickly say one or two things. I think the first thing I want to say is, yes, LinkedIn is a professional platform, and those personal things should be off LinkedIn. But let me say, even LinkedIn as an application is beginning to get unserious these days. LinkedIn even introduced a funny reaction, a laughter reaction. All right. So as serious as the platform is, it's also introducing some interesting parts, but then putting things like buying a car or buying a house, the idea people have is it's a professional platform and people should talk about their achievements. All right. So they are counting this. I bought a car as an achievement. I bought my first house at the age of 19 as an achievement. I got married as an achievement, So because of things like that, LinkedIn is beginning to lose its original essence. All right. The original essence of LinkedIn was to connect professionals. connect professionals with opportunities, connect professionals with services. But then people are gradually toning it down because the idea of LinkedIn is you should also share your achievements so that whoever is coming in contact with you can know what you already know. So if, for example, I'm an ISO certified quality control professional, it's important I put it on my LinkedIn because it's something that tells the whole world what I am good at. So you're a project manager, you need to say there, you have a certificate in PMP. But for example, putting a car, I don't know how relevant that is to the world to know that you bought a car. But achievements like your degrees, achievements like awards, I encourage you to put that on your LinkedIn. I do strongly encourage you do that. But things like buying a car and buying a house, I don't really know. Another thing about the birthdays is that, sorry for the last one, the birthdays is that even LinkedIn will notify people of your birthdays. So people celebrating birthdays on LinkedIn is not totally out of place, but because even LinkedIn would actually notify people that it's your birthday, please celebrate this person, okay? So celebrating people on LinkedIn, especially their birthdays, is not out of place because even the application enables that. But putting things like I bought a car and I bought a house, I don't really see how that is relevant to any professional. Thank you.
Okay, so I have one quick question. I also saw that people post almost every certification they have on their LinkedIn profile. So I go to someone's LinkedIn profile from one institution, I see multiple certificates. I feel it's kind of a cluster. I don't know. What do you think about that? I want to hear your opinion about posting multiple certifications. And these are different fields. Some take different fields, like different areas, and they post everything. So what's the view?
Yes, so in fact, if there are litanies of certificates and awards, please, that is a platform to put it. Not your Twitter handle, not your Instagram handle. If you have 10 certifications, it's very beautiful you put it there because you are increasing your worth. Imagine I am ISO 9001 certified. I have certification in food safety. I have in HACCP. These are food certifications. Do you know how much I'm worth out there? Do you understand? The idea of LinkedIn is that you want to sell yourself for anybody who wants. So if I'm applying for a managerial position, they're not looking down at what does she have. Do you understand? So you're going to be attracting the right audience if you put the certifications. Now, not everybody wants to disclose that private part of their lives, but if you really, really want to use LinkedIn as an opportunity for you to grow your network and to get the kind of jobs you want, please, if you have it, put it there. You have 10 certifications, put it there. Pride yourself, that's the truth. Pride yourself in what you've bagged. If you've bagged 10 certifications, put it there. If you've bagged 10 certifications, put it there because you'll be attracting the right audience, the right people that want to view them. So you're putting, okay, I am ISO 9001 certified. I am project management, sorry for using that word. I have all them certifications. Please, if possible, put it there. If you want to use LinkedIn as a platform for you to reach the kind of people you want to reach, it is not wrong. In fact, that is a platform to use to sell yourself, not Instagram, not your WhatsApp. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think, what I was trying to also reinforce is, do we put up certificates from different areas? That's the question I'm asking. You know, I see a lot of certification on different areas. So in my mind, I'm wondering, okay, what is this person's specialty? What is this person's specialty? I don't know if...
Okay. No. That's conflict of interest. That's conflict of interest. You need, like I said, you already have a niche for yourself. You already have an area you are specialized in. Okay, I'm a quality control professional. Let's say, for example, I have certificates in PMP. I have certifications, maybe one tailoring certificate somewhere or fashion design certificate. Why am I putting it on LinkedIn when my interest area is on leadership? Why am I putting it there? Why are you putting multiple certification that has nothing to do with your interest areas? Your interest area is what is attracting your audience to you. So once you attract them, what are you going to use to sustain them? Is it your they'll just like, this person is not serious with life. You're just doing several things. You don't even know what exactly you want to do with your life. So you, as much as LinkedIn is a place for you to come and tell the whole world, oh, I did Coursera, I did something that has to do with sustainable development, I did something that has to do with this, I put it on I want to celebrate my wins. It's good you celebrate your wins, but please, how are you going to attract the right people? How are you going to draw them when you are just putting different things? Today you post certification from project management. Tomorrow you put on SDG. Next tomorrow you put on health. Another day you put on just very scattered. So it's important you have a driver for your life and just continue to fuel that area. Like I usually tell my team members, find a dream for yourself, pour your life into that dream, and that life will definitely give you that dream will definitely give you the life you've dreamt about. All right. So pour yourself into the dream. Just pour everything you have into your dream, and later that life will begin to give you the life you've dreamed about. Okay, so don't just keep doing scattered things on LinkedIn. Have a life on LinkedIn and pour that life into it. Like have something you identify. Have a dream about what you want your LinkedIn to be about, and pour your life into it. And definitely, it's going to give you the life you dreamt about.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. We got so much value tonight. Thank you, Blessing Ochonogor. Blessing is actually a member of Pretty and Safe Ladies Network. She's our very old. Thank you so much. I believe we are blessed tonight. I believe we got so much value. I want to see our comment before I let us go. Right? So while our comments are rolling in, I want to thank you so much for staying tuned till now. Tonight's session took 2 hours than yesterday's session, and we stayed through. Thank you so much. I know you got value. You didn't just stay, but I trust you got value, and it's expected that you take execution. Yes, execute. Take action steps towards everything you've gained tonight. I'm personally going to brush up my LinkedIn. At least I will start. I'll begin to make those changes. And also, if you've been incubating a business plan for so long, it's time to go back to the drawing board. Look at how to start up. You know, we see today that you don't necessarily need to have every capital you need to start. You need strategy. You need to have a business plan, a business model, a financial plan. You need to have everything in place. Know your target audience, know what they want, know their habits. So I want us to please take action, application of everything we've learned tonight. Then it will not be a waste, right? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. This program is brought to you by the Pretty and Safe Ladies Network. And as I said earlier, we are a group of women that are kingdom-minded and building ourselves to that place of influence, and dominance. That's our mantra for the year. That's our goal for the year. So on behalf of PSLN, we say thank you for tuning in tonight. Remember, we have one more session tomorrow. So I don't know, Chidima, do you have anything to say before we close up tonight?
No, thank you so much, Blessing. I mean, it's just been, I've learned quite a lot this night. I've really been inspired to go back and do more homework. I also appreciate everyone who really stayed all through. So tomorrow is going to be an awesome session, particularly for those who are interested in studying abroad. One of the things Blessing said when she started was that, it's not just enough to have a word. Of course, it's very, very important. Then you have to put that word into action. So tomorrow we're going to learn how to, for those of us who have been thinking, how do I, this abroad, how people get into this place, you're going to find out about it. David is my very good friend. Yeah, David is my very good friend. He's super smart. You're going to learn a lot from him. So I really look forward to us seeing everybody. Share with people, share with your friends. Don't just be a beneficiary alone. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Our time is fast spent. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow. Bye.